Thank you and your companions for joining us on the YouTube channel of Nghe An Newspaper, the digital social publication of Nghe An Newspaper and radio and television. Right after this, we will come to the latest news that we have just updated.
Former Thai Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra, one of the richest and most powerful men in Thailand, has been sentenced to a year in prison by the Supreme Court after it was determined that the billionaire had circumvented the law by staying in hospital instead of jail. His original sentence of 8 years for conflict of interest and abuse of power during his time as Prime Minister from 2001 to 2006 was reduced to 1 year after he returned from self-imposed exile in August 2023. He was released on parole in May 2024 after spending time in a VIP ward of a hospital. He has since lived in a high-fenced villa on the outskirts of Bangkok, traveling in a luxury car and even having a bed. But shortly after the new ruling on March 9th, he was taken by prison van to Bangkok's Prem prison after undergoing a medical examination. Kalong Prem is home to about 6,500 prisoners, including many famous politicians, businessmen, and arms dealer Victor Budionamar. Somio's Brooke Saka, an activist and former magazine editor who spent more than 7 years in prison, recounted, "It was an extremely gloomy life. The first day in prison, I just cried. The atmosphere was always tense. This was not a friendly place at all." A former Thai Ministry of Corrections official who worked in many prisons, including Kong Prem, confirmed the above situation. The prison is divided into 11 areas including an isolation area, an area for prisoners with sentences of over 50 years, and an area for high-risk criminals. Everyone has to sleep on the ground with bamboo blankets in a room that can accommodate up to 25 people. Inmates are usually given only 3 blankets, one to lie on, one to roll up as a pillow, and one to cover themselves. If you're lucky, you might get 4 sheets, but sleeping like that is still torture, Mr. Somio said. The food in prison is so bland it's hard to swallow. But the worst part is the middle area with a square water tank where inmates bathe naked. Mr. Somio's warned that showers are always dirty and there is a risk of being assaulted or even murdered. Just a small fight can escalate into violence. Inmates can go out during the day to meet relatives or lawyers, but tension is always present. Through with a sensitive political profile, Mr. Thaksin is said to be able to face confrontation from fellow inmates or drug dealers and families of victims of the fierce anti-drug campaign. Conversely, he can also quickly become a hot-button samda in Thai prisons, referring to a big shot who is protected and respected by other inmates thanks to his influence and money. How long he will actually serve remains unclear, however, as the law allows for detention outside the prison as well as house arrest. For those who have been detained in Klong Prem, Thin's fall is a stark reminder of the harsh price he has to pay. Somio said he lost his freedom, his comfort, his political career, and his reputation. He has had to learn to accept those losses.
On September 11th, Thailand's acting Deputy Defense Minister, General Natphon Phanis, said that concerns about plans to reopen some border crossings between Thailand and Cambodia had eased, according to the Bang newspaper. However, Mr. Natphon also stressed that more steps were needed before the crossings could be reopened and that Thailand would consider Cambodia's commitment to other issues. General Natphon and his Cambodian counterpart, General The, agreed during a meeting of the Joint Border Committee of the two countries in Cambodia's Kokkong province on September 10 that the two countries should consider reopening a border crossing starting in Sant Uri and Chat provinces. These two eastern provinces are considered areas with a lower risk of conflict. The areas with the highest risk are Buriram, Surin, Shishakhet, and Ubon Rathanai. The result surprised the people and even some senior military leaders because border tensions continue and the two countries have not yet reached a permanent ceasefire agreement. General Manas Jun, Chief of General Staff of the Thai Army, said that there should be no negotiations on opening the border if Cambodia does not withdraw its troops from the border. Mr. Manat said there is no need to reopen the border as long as Cambodia does not show sincerity to us. Mr. Bon Sin PL, commander of the 2nd Military Region of Thailand, also warned that hastily opening the border could put people at risk and facilitate crime. Meanwhile, the Thai Ministry of Defense explained that the reopening of the border would only cover goods while the movement of people remains prohibited until further notice. The Nghe Newspaper, which reported on the GBC meeting, also said that the two countries discussed for the first time their land border checkpoints, which have been closed since late September this year due to escalating tensions. This was a proposal put forward by the Japanese side. Cambodian General Siha said the meeting highlighted the need to return to normalcy in this regard, with a call from Japan for both countries to consider the feasibility of reopening border checkpoints for the movement of goods needed to maintain the region's vital supply chains.
On September 11th, Nick Asia reported that Thailand's new Prime Minister Anyutin Shavayakan said he was considering reviving a shopping subsidy program that was implemented during the COVID-19 pandemic. In the context of the country's economy facing a number of challenges such as stagnant consumption and slow recovery of international tourism. According to the plan, the Con Leng program, which roughly translates to one person half, will be relaunched with the government covering half of what people spend at restaurants and retail stores. The program was implemented 5 times between 2020 and 2022, attracting 26 million participants and stimulating spending of more than 170 billion baht, half of which was supported by the state. This time, Finance Minister-designate Nidhi Tini Propis has proposed increasing the support level to 60% for the group of income taxpayers. Mr. Anyutin said he liked the idea and had asked for further study, asserting that Thailand had enough budget to implement it and that reducing the cost of living was the government's top priority. The new government led by the Thai Pride Party is expected to focus on socio-economic issues to achieve a quick political victory 4 months ahead of schedule. Parliament will then dissolve to prepare for a new election. In the expected cabinet list, Mr. Adu Tin has chosen mainly businessmen with veteran names such as Mr. Audapal Rapibal, former CEO of state-owned oil and gas giant PTT for the position of Energy Minister, and Ms. Shufid Shatumpal, former CEO of the Dusani Hotel Group for the position of Commerce Minister. However, observers say measures like the lowering are only short-term. Piasak Manason, an expert at InnovestX Security, expressed skepticism about the ability to address the fundamental problems of the economy, saying that the program may be more of a political tool than a sustainable development strategy. However, the market has responded positively, with the Thai stock index up 3% since late August, while the baht hit a 4-year high against the US dollar. At the same time, experts warn that the Thai economy will face additional challenges in the second half of 2025 from trade fluctuations and U.S. tariff policies, putting great pressure on the new government. Thailand's tourism industry is recording a strong recovery from the pandemic, with more than 22 million international visitors to the land of Golden Temples from the beginning of the year to September 7th. According to the Ministry of Tourism and Sports of Thailand, this number of visitors has helped the Thai tourism industry contribute more than 1,037,000 billion baht, equivalent to about $32.6 billion to the national economy. Ms. Nia Tuong, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Tourism and Sports, said China is the leading market with more than 3.16 million visitors, followed by Malaysia with 3.13 million, India with 1.61 million, Russia with 1.21 million, and South Korea with 1.05 million. In the first week of September alone, Thailand welcomed more than 500,000 international visitors, a slight increase of 0.44% compared to the previous week, with an average of about 72,600 visitors per day. Notably, arrivals from Singapore surged by more than 47% thanks to the school holidays, putting the country in the top 5 markets for the week. India also recorded a nearly 30% increase due to national holidays. Meanwhile, arrivals from Malaysia, South Korea, and China saw a slight decline. The Thai government expects international arrivals to continue to increase in the second week of September thanks to the long holidays in Malaysia and tourism promotion programs, such as the Thailand Tourism and Sports Year 2025. In addition, support measures such as implementing the TM6 entry form and encouraging airlines to increase flight frequencies are also contributing to the increase in international arrivals to Thailand. According to the Tourism Authority of Thailand, TAT, the country aims to welcome 38 million international visitors and achieve a total tourism revenue of 3 trillion baht, equivalent to more than $94 billion in 2025, of which the Asian market alone is expected to contribute about 29 million visitors, with key markets including India, Malaysia, South Korea, Russia, and China.
On September 11th, Nicholas K.H., the lawyer team of former Philippine President Roder Duterte, sent a notice to the International Criminal Court, ICC, stating that his client is suffering from severe cognitive impairment that affects his memory, mobility, and daily activities. In a 13-page document sent to the ICC's pretrial chamber, Lawyer C asserted that Mr. TT is not healthy enough to participate in the trial, requesting an indefinite postponement of the entire legal process in the case. The lawyer said that the former Philippine president cannot remember events, locations, even close family members and defense team, making it impossible for Mr. Dutt to fully understand the nature and consequences of the proceedings. Lawyer Chow Man emphasized that this condition is unlikely to improve and Mr. Dutt cannot contribute to the process of defending himself. He cannot understand the reasons for his detention or make decisions based on a basic understanding of the legal process, Chow Man wrote. He also stressed that the former Philippine president's health did not meet the minimum standard to stand trial. Dutet, 80, is facing charges of crimes against humanity stemming from his controversial drug crackdown while in office. The campaign has been widely criticized by the international community and human rights groups for its high death toll. The ICC had previously postponed a confirmation hearing for Dutt, which was scheduled for late September. To consider a request from his defense team. It is unclear when the court will rule on the trial because many details in his medical records have been redacted for sensitive reasons. Dutt has always denied the legality of his detention, calling it an act of kidnapping. Declaring a defendant incompetent to stand trial is rare in international courts, even for the elderly. In 2023. The UN War Crimes Tribunal declared genocide suspect Randa Finkuga to be mentally ill and unfit to stand trial. However, Kugum was kept in a UN facility in the Netherlands because no country would accept him.